Burn bags stuffed with evidence, secret emails buried, and a cover-up stretching to the highest levels of government. Newly unsealed documents from the 2016 Trump hoax now reveal a stunning link between George Soros and the scheme orchestrated by Hillary Clinton's campaign. But that's just the beginning. Today, the White House zeroes in on Nancy Pelosi's controversial stock portfolio. President Trump secures a major win on tariffs, and seniors 65 and up are about to see a significant new tax break. It's all happening fast, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. So there has been a major plot twist in the Trump-Russia investigation. Some of the most damning receipts showing this was all a hoax cooked up by Hillary Clinton and her campaign were stashed in burn bags at FBI headquarters. You know, the kind used to obliterate classified intel? Convenient, right? And just as these declassified bombshells start making their way to the sunlight, guess who comes scrambling out with a preemptive spin? John Brennan and James Clapper, Obama-era intelligence chiefs, trying to control the narrative with an op-ed claiming, quote, "We find it deeply regrettable that the administration continues to perpetuate the fictitious narrative that Russia did not interfere in the 2016 election." Sounds like someone doesn't want us to look behind the curtain, but that curtain's already been yanked. Durham's report includes emails, get this, scooped up via Russian intelligence, allegedly written by Leonard Bernardo, who is the senior vice president for George Soros's Open Society Foundation. Yeah, now we're playing in the geopolitical big leagues. According to the annex, now declassified, Bernardo writes about a Clinton campaign advisor, Julianne. She's also referred to by Julie and Julia. One of those emails reads, quote, "Julie says it will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump. Now it is good for a post-convention bounce. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire." In another email obtained by Durham, Bernardo allegedly wrote, quote, "HRC," meaning Hillary Rodham Clinton, "approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. The point is making the Russian play a U.S. domestic issue. Say something like a critical infrastructure threat for the election to feel menace, since both POTUS and the VP have acknowledged the fact IC would speed up searching for evidence that is regrettably still unavailable." Now, John Durham interviewed Julie back during his investigation, and she claimed at the time she doesn't recall receiving any of those emails. Let me be clear here. This was never about Trump. It was about power, and they'll do it again if no one stops them.
I just feel as though what we did was right. It was legitimate. It was based on our authorities and responsibilities. We would have been derelict if we didn't do these things.
If spying on a presidential campaign and peddling a bogus dossier counts as legit, then Watergate was just a misunderstanding. Now watch as he pivots hard.
I really hope that the leadership is not going to continue along this very political, partisan path in terms of defending Donald Trump and doing what they can to deflect from his problem.
Wait, what? That's like the arsonist warning you about fire hazards. Now, speaking of the deep state, remember Peter Strzok, the smirking FBI agent at the center of the Trump-Russia probe? Yeah, he just deleted his entire X history. Poof, gone. Because nothing says, "I have nothing to hide," like wiping your entire digital trail the moment things heat up. And guess who else just hit the panic button? John Kerry, who oversaw the State Department during this bogus investigation. His X account, now private. Apparently, even he realized some receipts don't age well, and he had too many skeletons for 280 characters. Tulsi Gabbard, she thinks they're sweating.
In my view, that's the only way that I can read this situation. Those who are truly innocent would not be taking those kinds of actions. And once again, this is why it's so important to declassify this information, to get the truth out, because it's something that for anyone who is mildly objective is irrefutable and undeniable, and can be used and is currently being reviewed by the Department of Justice.
And now we're circling back to someone who's been oddly quiet, Barack Obama. Now, while he is protected by the same presidential immunity the courts just affirmed for Trump, some are buzzing there might be a loophole.
Barack Obama can now be summoned before a grand jury. He cannot take the Fifth Amendment because he has immunity from prosecution. He'll have to tell the truth. If he lies as a private citizen about what he did as president, he'll no longer have that immunity. And that is a trap that Obama is sitting potentially facing. And I want to say the irony to that, because on January 5th, 2017, he presided over a meeting in the White House where the FBI had just cleared Mike Flynn of any wrongdoing, and they schemed in that meeting how they might be able to jam up Mike Flynn. And they came up with the idea, we'll lure him into an interview, catch him into a lie, and then prosecute him that way. Barack Obama now is about to face a potential similar situation.
So here we are. The documents are out. The players are clearly scrambling. And the cover stories are falling apart faster than Peter Strzok's X history. I'm telling you, accountability is finally calling, and this time, it is not going to voicemail. All eyes clearly on Pam Bondi and Kash Patel as they dig deeper into the fallout, and as any developments come out, I will bring them to you. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she might be sweating through her designer blazer today as well, because the press secretary just torched her with the ultimate unintended success story, her stock portfolio. She makes $174,000 a year, yet somehow she's amassed a jaw-dropping $413 million net worth. Watch this bombshell.
In 2024, Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, this was a fascinating statistic to me, grew 70% in 1 year in 2024, and her portfolio outperformed every single large hedge fund in that same year, and even more than doubled the returns of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. So I think the president stands with the American people on this. He doesn't want to see people like Nancy Pelosi enriching themselves off of public service and ripping off their constituents in the process.
And get this, Pelosi didn't launch some breakthrough tech startup. She just magically managed to predict market moves again and again perfectly that were aligned with upcoming legislation. What a coincidence, right? I mean, honestly, the odds are probably better that she gets struck by lightning. But here we are. Now, the White House is drawing a line. The president says enough is enough. I mean, he is standing with the American people against politicians using insider access to pad their portfolios. Nancy Pelosi, now responding to all of this, writing, quote, "We must have strong transparency, robust accountability, and tough enforcement for financial conduct in office because the American people deserve confidence that their elected leaders are serving the public interest, not their personal portfolios." I agree with you, Nancy. She also supports rebranding it from the Pelosi Act to the Honest Act, and rebranding isn't going to unring that bell. Now, it turns out the media is having a rough day too. All of those breathless predictions about President Trump's tariffs blowing up the economy? Yeah, not so much. And before we break down the numbers, watch this. It is a quick clip of the media choking on their own words after insisting Trump's EU deal would trigger economic Armageddon.
Is this a fantastic deal then struck by Donald Trump?
Absolutely a victory on behalf of the Trump administration.
Isabel, the bottom line is this is the biggest trade deal in President Trump's effort to effectively reshape the global trading order.
On this deal, the European Union, this is a big win for the U.S.
Those clips never get old. Now today, the president is giving Mexico a 90-day extension to finish their deal. China, their clock will run out August 12th. For everyone else, the deadline is midnight tonight. The president, he's been busy on the phone all day trying to close some of the deals, and he has made a massive trade deal with Korea. This includes 15% tariffs on Korean goods imported to the U.S. South Korea will invest $350 billion and will buy $100 billion worth of natural gas. Looks like tariffs do work. And the economy? It's not just surviving, it's booming.
Up 3%. Better than expected. That would be the highest level since the third quarter of 24 when it was up 3.1%. On the consumption side, up 1.4, very close to estimates. Up 1.4 would be the best since the last quarter of 24.
The economy is roaring, and yet the man holding the key to our golden age, still stuck in neutral.
In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged.
Jerome Powell is the Fauci of finance. He's smug, wrong, and bulletproof to accountability. Now, last year, he cut rates 3 times for Biden, even with higher inflation. Right now, we are currently under President Trump at 3% growth. We have low unemployment, business investments are booming, and inflation is only at 2.1%. To top it off, unlike Bidenomics, wages are growing faster than inflation. Also, unlike Bidenomics, we are creating jobs for Americans, not illegals. In fact, Americans have gained 2 million jobs and illegals have lost 500,000. Now, at yesterday's rate meeting, 2 governors who want to cut voted against Powell. That hasn't happened since 1993.
It does show how Fed Chair Powell, he's not just facing pressure from the White House to cut interest rates, he's also facing pressure from some of his colleagues inside this building.
The Fed is cracking, and so are the Democrats. Trump's winning streak has absolutely put the party in total meltdown mode. Watch this.
The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right. And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me.
You never see President Trump unravel like this, even after all the indictments and everything they put him through. But some Democrats, they act like Desperate Housewives is a training manual for public service. Even members of their own party are calling out the soap opera theatrics and begging for less drama and more results. Sounds like a page out of Trump's playbook.
You have Booker who keeps giving angry speeches, right? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't offer anything. He just screams fight. So he's the hysteria caucus right now.
There's a way to change a bill. And then there's a way to get in the opening segment of Morning Joe and on the front page of the New York Times. And Cory chose the latter rather than the former.
It's a rough day for Cory Booker when his own party is telling him to tone it down. Now, if the Democrats don't find a way to get on board and be a part of the massive wins that are coming out of the White House, they will continue to spiral out of control because now we're getting word that more tax breaks are coming for people over the age of 65. You ready for this?
Starting next year, the IRS is cutting many retirees a bit more slack. Under the new law, individuals age 65 and older can claim an additional $6,000 deduction on top of the existing standard senior deduction. Married couples where both qualify, that's a $12,000 tax break.
I don't think anybody's going to say no to that. America is finally winning again, and it's not because of shouting matches and stage meltdowns. It's because we finally have a president who's putting America first and putting the chaos behind us. Now up next, Kristi Noem and Tom Homan, they go nuclear on liberal mayors as Homan doubles down on ICE in Los Angeles. Karen Bass, she ain't seen nothing yet. Go ahead, click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. And thanks for watching.